Hey guys, welcome back to Porter Valley Ranch. So I'm spending some time here with Dolly and Doodle. Dolly and Doodle are our new baby doll sheep that we brought home this week. We brought them home and we put them in this temporary enclosure. We already had a fence over here for some of our ibex. We've got our ibex separated. We've got the females separated from the males, because next week we're going to take our females and we're going to get them to Oklahoma City so they can get bred by Abraham, the new buck that we got from Nebraska about a month and a half ago. If you didn't watch that, go check out this video. Whenever we went and got Abraham, it was quite an adventure. He is an awesome full-blood zoo quality Nubian ibex. We're going to take them down there. So they've been over here in this pen. We've got a swimming pool over to the other side, and so it kind of created a natural partial enclosure. We just had to put 2 panels up, and that way we could keep these baby doll sheep really close to us. We wanted to keep them close to the house so that Kai and Jet could come out and feed them every day, help make them more gentle so that they can turn from just farm animals into pets. So that's been working. They've been really receptive to feeding little bits every day. So they're getting a lot more gentle, as you can tell. They're right here, close to me. But you can also see they've eaten most of the grass. So most of the grass is gone in that little area. And we got something in the mail today that I think is gonna help out with that problem. We're really excited about it. So let's go inside and we'll show you what we got. All right, so we got home from the Creek County Fair a few minutes ago, and this was waiting on our doorstep thanks to the United Postal Service. I think that's what UPS stands for. I don't really know. Probably. Anyway, so the Creek County Fair, man, if you have a county fair close to you, you know that they are awesome. You get to see some amazing people, some people watching. You get to see some animals, some livestock, some things that were grown in people's gardens, exhibitors, and best of all, the food. There's fried everything, so that's always great. If you love fried food, then you love fairs. The Creek County Fair is one of the only fairs happening in the state of Oklahoma this year because of COVID-19. So there were like a gazillion people there. It was absolutely insane. We are still pretty careful about the virus, so we didn't ride rides and eat all the food and all that kind of stuff this time. We usually do. We've been going to the fair since our son was 2 years old, so this would be our 10th year at the fair. So we didn't get our fried funnel cakes and corn dogs and all those kinds of things, but we did get to watch some of our friends show their sheep and goats. But we do have some new friends that we met on Reddit that actually live just a couple miles away from us that also just started a YouTube channel called Paragon Ridge. They made a video about the Creek County Fair, so we're going to link it up here. You can go check that out if you want to. Give them a like, give them a subscription. They would love to have you. So anyways, we got these boxes today, and we think they're going to help our problem with our sheep. So we've been talking to a company called Starkline Electric Netting. They make electric fence products for all kinds of different sizes of animals, from chickens to pigs to horses, sheep and goats, as long as the goats don't have horns. It kind of gets iffy because they could get stuck in and it could hurt them. So mostly for sheep, horses, chickens, pigs. So we have been talking to them about what we have going on, and they were kind enough to send us these. So box number 1. We have a user manual. Now, if you were a man like me, you usually take this and discard it. I would like to encourage you not to do that. Hold on to it. We're going to need to read some things about what to do. There are some important things that you need to know. Now, step 1 is knowing what these things are called. So in this box, we have what's called an energizer. Some people call it a charger or something. This is an energizer. Also in this box is some handy dandy packing material that looks like my kids would love it, but also that would make a mess. So we're gonna hide that and recycle it. Back to the energizer. There are different sizes of energizers. Depending on your needs, you might need a big one or a small one. They have different packages. We got one of the bigger ones because we are planning on eventually hooking a couple of these fencing systems together to give the sheep a larger area to roam so that we can move them less frequently. So we got the S400, which says it is 2800 volts. I don't know what that means. It probably means that it would hurt you if you touch it. So try not to touch it. That's going to be one important thing. The other important thing is that you're going to need to charge this up. It is solar powered, so you're going to need to charge it for how long? I don't know. But I'm going to read here in the instruction manual how long to charge it, because if it's not charged properly, it won't electrify the fence, and therefore your animals might be able to get out, and that's not good. So read the instructions on that. This is called your Energizer Bunny. No bunny, just Energizer. Box number 2. I feel like there should be more, but there's not, because it's all in one package. So the nice thing about this, in researching what drew us to this system, is that it's all together. It's all inclusive. So these things at the bottom, there's little metal stakes that stick into the ground. And then everything else is just all together. So the old days of driving T-posts and then getting those little yellow clips and putting it on there, running the wire, hooking that to your Energizer, plugging that in, are gone. This, we're going to unroll it. We're going to put the Energizer on this stake, which is also looks like a weapon of some sort. Just gonna bolt on there. That goes in the ground for grounding purposes. For those of you that don't know how electricity works, electricity has to be grounded. So you hook it onto the Energizer and it pulses electricity through these green and white wires, and then it goes into the ground, unless something comes between that and that, which would be you or an animal. So if you touched it, then it would shock you. So when you get shocked, it's actually electricity going and finding its way to the ground from you. So don't touch the fence. We actually have a fence tester, an electric fence tester. We'll show you that whenever we set it up. I grew up on a farm and we had to test a lot of electric fences, and my brother and I would just kind of touch it like this. You're like, you touch it, and you touch it, and you touch it. But electric fences aren't solid, they pulse. So if you're touching it at the right time, the wrong time, or I guess it's the right time, you might not think it's on, and then you go to grab it or step over it, and it shocks you, and it's horrible. So it doesn't hurt you as much as it just freaks you out and makes you jerk and makes you hurt yourself. Or if you're climbing over it, you trip and fall, then it shocks you like 3 more times, and it's terrible. So make sure that your kids understand what's going on with electric fences, how they work, why they shouldn't touch them, why they shouldn't play pranks on their friends and tell them to touch them. They could get hurt. Also, like I said earlier, you need to be careful if your animals have any kind of horns. Goats, for instance, will stick their head through just about anything to try to eat the grass on the other side. Grass is always greener on the other side, and if they stick their head through and get stuck, then it could just keep shocking them, it could hurt them. So this is not recommended for goats with horns. I guess if your sheep have little horns, you need to be careful also. So make sure and read the instructions. Make sure and go to Starkline, their website, and find out what you want. Email them, they have great customer service if you need advice on that. But find what's best for your setup and for your animals so that they are safe and contained properly. Okay, so we're gonna take all this, which isn't a lot, honestly. I was kind of expecting to do a lot more with it. Never done an unboxing video before, so I don't know what else you guys need to know other than this is what we have, and it looks pretty simple, and we're gonna take it outside and see if we can set it up, and we'll show you guys just how easy it is, or hard it is. I don't think it's gonna be, but if it is, I guess a product review is all about honesty, so we will definitely be honest with you. In the meantime, make sure you go check out Starkline's website and watch the rest of this video. We're gonna set it up, we're gonna get our baby doll sheep in it, and hopefully they can eat some grass so I don't have to weed eat anymore, because weed eating is somewhat enjoyable but also tiring and makes my allergies go crazy this time of year. So Starkline netting, electric fencer, unboxed, ready to set up, Here we go. So we want to keep the baby doll sheep here close to the house for a couple of reasons. Number one, we want to keep them close so the boys can come out and feed them every day, a couple times every day. Just giving them a little, like a half handful of corn. Even if like one of us, Rachel, are on the phone, we walk out here on the deck and talk on the phone just so they're used to us. They get used to hearing our voice and they understand that when we come out, good things happen. So that's one reason they keep them really close to the house here. Number two, they already have their shelter. They've been going under the deck and that keeps them sheltered from the rain and the sun. So we wanted to have that until we build the shed enclosure up there on top of the hill. And then number three is they've never been exposed to electric fencing. So sometimes if you put them in electric fencing, they kind of freak out. So we want to slowly introduce them to the electric fencing. So they will have their enclosure, then they'll be able to come into here for little parts of the day, and then we'll put them back in there at night. So we're not leaving them exposed overnight. And also, we don't have enough dogs yet to cover all of the property. So we're kind of hesitant to put these guys up on the hill without a dog to protect them in case there were predators. We don't really have a lot of predators around here, but you never know when one's going to show up, and you certainly don't want to make a mistake of having one show up at the wrong time and not being prepared for it. So we're going to put the electric fence netting system here. We're just going to kind of trace what's already here. Trace the patio, trace the deck, trace the garden, and then bring it inside this fence. And then we can slowly introduce them to that. And hopefully they'll get used to it. And then we could put it wherever we want. We could just make a square out in the middle of a field and they'd be fine. But this is going to be a good way to introduce them to it, help us learn how to use it a little bit better, and it'll be a good introduction for everybody. So watch as we set this up. I think it's going to be pretty simple based on opening the box. Starkline electric netting fencing, take one. All right, so we got the fence set up. It took about 5 minutes, maybe, to string it out and put it around. It's kind of a weird shape, but it's gonna work for what we're doing. So starts over here, and then it just traces our fence all the way down to the sheep's current pen. And that's where the pieces join, so we can open that and let them in and out. So now we're gonna open up the Energizer and hook that up, let that charge for a little bit, and then we'll let them loose in here and see how it goes. All right, so we are going to open the Energizer and hook it to the grounding post. I don't know what this means. I'm guessing it means shocked, so Kerbal. Maybe it means careful. Kerbal, careful. What else you got in there, Kai?
I think this is like bolts or something.
Bolts or something?
Yeah.
Okay, what does it look like? That's styrofoam.
Oh.
Throw that away so the goats don't eat it.
Okay.
Trash can.
Oh, look what's in here. Oh, it's the cord. Cord for it.
So we are done setting up the Starkline electric netting. Man, it was super easy. Took about 45 minutes start to finish to get this thing set up, and that was for someone who had no idea what they were doing. Read through the instruction manual briefly, actually just looked at the pictures because that's kind of how I do it. But man, when we pulled it out, there was about 4 places that the netting was tied together. So we got those untied and it wasn't tangled, super easy. I didn't even have to step on any of the posts. I just drove them in with my hand until they got all the way down to soil, set it up and rolled it out, kind of mapped it out first, then just started setting them, tighten it, set them, and it was awesome, super easy. We now have it here, but it is not plugged in, because that would be shocking me if it was. The Energizer needs 12 hours to charge, so we've got it setting in the sun and charging, but we went ahead and let the baby doll sheep in here. That way they can kind of get used to it without it shocking them. So we've got it ran. They are in here already. Tomorrow, once it gets charged up, we will turn the Energizer on and we'll see if they, how quick they figure it out. I also want to see how quick my kids figure it out, because one of them is going to touch it, and when they do, it's going to be, they're going to be in for a shock. No pun intended. Pun intended, I guess. Anyway, it'll be interesting. So, but every kid that lives on a farm has to touch an electric fence at least once. I think it's like one of those rite of passage things. So anyways, thank you to Starkline Electric Netting for trusting us to try their product out. We are really looking forward to it. It seemed like it was super easy to set up and do. I think if I needed to move it to a different location, it's going to take me about 15 minutes. 15 minutes to unplug, you know, roll it, move it, and set it again. 15 minutes, I think we'll be in good shape. So we'll show you guys when we do that for the first time. We're going to leave our sheep in here for a few days, let them eat this grass, make sure they stay close, make sure we understand everything, make sure it's working properly before we turn them loose on a bigger area. But we really appreciate you guys for watching. Make sure you go check out Starkline, see their wide range of products. Hopefully they can meet some of your needs. And in the meantime, thanks for watching Porter Valley Ranch. We hope that you will like us and subscribe and hit the notification bell so you find out as soon as we have new videos. Also check us out on Instagram and Facebook. Make sure you comment and give us your suggestions and opinions. We're just getting started, so we really appreciate your support and your feedback. So until next time, Porter Valley Ranch, thanks for watching, guys.